Hi guys, I'm Elasik, and can I have the emerging professionals in the room stand up, please? All right, woo! All right, and there's about 30 of us here, a little bit less, and they represent, and we'll show you a nice diagram, but they're EP national chairs, EP regional chairs, and the EP National Committee. So I'm going to go through it. But I first want to say, you guys in this room, I don't know if you knew it or not, who knew this, that you were part of USGBC's community? Come on. Who knew? Only a handful of you. Okay, well, welcome to the party. Happy 20th birthday. You guys are all part of USGBC's community. So welcome. And that's why we're all in this room together today, is because we're trying to make people understand we're all one community for the first time ever. Woo! So it's no longer students and community green, emerging professionals, chapters. We're all the USGBC community. So that's why you guys are sitting together. We're hoping that you can go home and connect here first and then go home and connect more. And that's why we have you seated here by regions, to really make sure that this is happening, that we're not just talking about it, but you're seated and exchanging contact information and planning events. Later on at lunch, we're going to talk about Green Apple Day of Service and how these groups can work together. Finally, right? It's about time after 20 years, I would say. These are our chapters. So emerging professionals are part of the chapter network. We have 77 across the country. For the Green Schools folks in the room, I'm sorry if this is a little bit boring, because I'm sure you already know that since you're part of a chapter, but for the students in Community Green, this might be pretty new to you. They're all independent 501c3 organizations, so we're the headquarters, and then they are their own organizations, but they're governed by a charter. So there's certain things they have to do for us, or we can just cut them off. No. But that is actually true. Okay, and the chapters by the numbers. So we have a big percentage of chapters that do have staff, but sometimes that's just one person. So we're not talking huge organizations here. And then this is kind of an overview. I would encourage you all are welcome to join our chapter community leader network on Yammer. Who knows about Yammer in this room? All right, good significant portion. Anybody else who doesn't know about Yammer, any of our EPs would be happy to talk to you about it. And that's a great place where you guys can get conversations going. I know the students are using National Field, and that's a great tool too, but you're welcome to join the community network on Yammer and collaborate there. It's like Facebook, but has a lot of points where you can share files, so that's the beauty of Yammer. But basically, we're 29,000 chapter members, so that's a pretty big amount of people, about 5,000 plus people actively volunteering. So, big group. Emerging professionals, we have two main goals, and they are to recruit people to really bring this new next generation of people to the chapter network. And then number two is, what do we do with those people who we bring to the chapters? We encourage them to get involved in the leadership program. So it's a pipeline of people moving hopefully from USGBC students, then to what program? Yes. Then just becoming part of the chapter. Integration is a key word I want you guys to think about. How can we integrate as one community? And then we have some pretty, strong metrics. We're really looking at how to do this. So the EP chairs can tell you that they are asked on a monthly basis to tell USGBC how many people were recruited to their chapter within their region. And hopefully, as you guys will see, these are people coming from USGBC student groups. That makes a lot of sense, right? If the people are already interested in USGBC students in Community Green, it's a natural progression that they'll join their chapter. So that is part of where we're going with all of this. So just an overview of the EPs, just really quick. There's 3/4 things I really want you guys to remember, but one of them is related to number 1, so that's why I really think of it as 3. It's all about the self. What's it going to do for me? Okay, so these are the opportunities. Number 1, your career. It's going to help you in what you do in life. So they say look out for number 1, so that's just your first talking point when you think about emerging professionals. It's going to help you in your career. Number 2, you're going to give back to your community. So that's why we're all here, right? It is for ourselves. It is also giving back to the community. Number 3, where I kind of mush it into the number 1, is the knowledge you're going to gain within your chapter. Our chapters are a wealth of knowledge for education and so forth. And number 4, because it's fun, right? And that's why we're all here. I mean, who's been having a good time so far? Anybody in this room? Yeah, it is fun. This is an amazing group of people. So that's why we do this as well. So we can't forget that. So 3 big things. What's it going to do for you? Help your career be part of the chapter network. What you're going to do for your community and give back. And then that knowledge piece you can kind of mush in or make it its own. And then number 3, very important, have fun, right? Vision, we're trying to bring 5,000 new emerging professionals into the chapter network within 3 years. And somebody asked me yesterday, they're like, where the heck did that 5,000 number come from? Any guesses out there?
Swag.
So it's actually, if you do the backwards math, only 2 people per month per chapter. So that's Alabama chapter, 2 new people in January. The Los Angeles chapter, 2 new people in February. And then it actually adds up to 5,000, believe it or not. So that's where we're going with all of this. And our structure is similar to this USGBC students model. And it's based off of the Obama campaign as well. So we've seen it work successfully in 2 campaigns along with our own network. And I'll show you what the structure looks like. And I love this slide. This is leadership core. So this dot at the top where all those arrows, that used to be what USGBC staff was looking like, with everybody in the whole community trying to communicate with one person. And can you guess how that went? Pretty great, right? No. It was pretty terrible because it's just not possible to effectively run a movement with one person trying to communicate with a whole community of thousands of volunteers. And so what we've built is a structure that is balanced. And let me show you what that looks like for our EPs. And basically the goal with all this is one person is only managing 5 to 7 people at a time. And our EP national and regional chairs, and national chairs are at the bottom, regional chairs are in the middle, and then we have our EP committee leaders spread out throughout the country. So it's a leadership pipeline, and again, because we're all part of the USGBC community, that's what we're trying to do, is make sure this pipeline continues. And building the bench, the next generation of leadership for our mission. Because how are we going to achieve green building for all within this generation if we don't think about the future? And so just thank you guys all for being here as one community so we can do this together.